The Ottawa Real Estate Board released its numbers for July, the much anticipated month of the summer, and declared a profound slowdown. So is the craziness finally over, and does it mean it's now less expensive to buy a home? Let's talk about it. Welcome back and thanks for tuning in. My name is Andrei with the Medow Group, and we service Ottawa and the surrounding areas, all things real estate. If you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing to stay up to date in the current market. And if you're back again, thanks for joining. As well, if you'd like to book a call with myself to chat more about the current market or a particular neighborhood, there's a link in the description below. Okay, enough with the headlines. We've all heard by now everything that is happening in the market. Yes, rates went up. Yes, homes are now cheaper than they were earlier this year. And yes, you can still get into the market if you're a first-time home buyer. The most common question I've been getting from my clients and people just reaching out is, hey Andrei, what's the difference between sales and price? Aren't they the same? And I think this is where a lot of the confusion is coming from, especially in terms of what the media puts out. Sales is the number of transactions. It could be per week, per month, or year. How many properties were actually sold in a given time? Price is the actual amount, usually an average, that the home sold for. So when you hear that sales have dropped 41%, that's the total number of homes that sold for the period against another time, and not the actual average price. And speaking of average price, that has changed as well. Earlier this year, we saw a peak in prices back in March, and since then, they've been decreasing. Is that good? Of course. Buyers now have more options and the market isn't as aggressive. Conditions are back. Yes, they exist and the lenders and home inspectors are loving this and their business is booming again. And don't forget, all this is for the protection of the buyer and seller and a healthier market for everyone. But as we get into the last month of summer, a little bit of deja vu is coming back. You know what I'm talking about, right? While prices grow back up, is now the time to buy? Should I wait and see? And to be honest, all great questions and something you should always be thinking about. And with that, let's take a look at the numbers for July and see if maybe they can give us a hint. Here we have the month-over-month comparison as we look at the different type of asset classes from March to last month, which was July. The reason the prices are red in March, that was our peak. So that's when the prices were the highest. So if you look at detached homes, they were trading at about $917,000 back in March, which was the peak. And then all the way fast forward to July, we're at $763,000. So quite a drop since everything has happened in the market, the interest rates, and that's what kind of the result is so far. Semi-detached 776 dropped down to 669. Townhomes were trading at 726. That was the average price. Keep in mind, average is highs and lows. That includes Ottawa and surrounding areas. We complete an average price. But again, depending on the neighborhood, it could be where you live, it could be more or less. So trading at 726 in March, fast forward to end of July, it was at 608. So again, a significant increase, about a drop of $125,000 almost. Condos, which I talk a lot about as a very important asset class because I think that the average income producer, which qualifies for about $500,000, your starting entry will be probably a condo, a 1-bedroom, 1-bathroom. So keep an eye on this. Back in March, they were about $479,000, trading now at $419,000. So since March to July, so the last 5 months, they have been in that $400,000 range, plus or minus. Days on market. Again, look at what's happening and the difference. March, 11 days on market, properties were trading very fast. Now we're sitting at 20 days on market. Now, again, don't forget too that we are in the peak summer. July is the slowest month in terms of trading, but with everything that's happening in the market as well too, with the additional factors, a little bit more inventory is coming onto the market. They are sitting on the market a little bit longer. So it is not common to see your property sell in 7 days or a week or a little bit over a week. You're going to look at about 20 days. Again, it's an average plus or minus depending on the neighborhood you are in. MOI, months of inventory, something I talk about all the time. This goes back to supply and demand. Is how much inventory we have available for the current demand, which are the buyers. 1.3 was our peak. So what that means is if no other property came onto the market in exactly 1.3 months, there'd be no other properties for sale. We are now at 2.1. In fact, we've been 2.1 for the last 2 months. And this is the reason why I think we should keep an eye on this, because
there were a lot of predictions that there would be more of a balanced market, which means more supply. But as you can see, 2.1 and 2.1 for both June and July, that hasn't changed. So August, I think, will really be the determining factor of, hey, are we going to see something a little bit more aggressive in the fall like we usually do year over year, or is inventory going to increase? If inventory is going to increase, that's going to be a better sign for buyers. More and more properties coming onto the market, longer days on market you expect as well too. And that of course means more options for buyers. Now, number of sales, which is transactions, not the price. And as you can see, in March, it was 2001. We are about half, or just a little bit more than half in July. So obviously less homes are being sold. This will affect the days on market and of course, months of inventory. Here we have the year-over-year comparison. And this is something also that's very important. Even though the number of transactions or sales is down, year over year, the average price of a home is still in the plus. So detached plus 4.8% compared to last year, semi-detached 10% increase, townhouse plus 3%, and condos plus 1.4. So let's keep a look on condos. They're almost at that exact price as they were last year. Be curious to see what happens back when fall starts and all the kids go back to school and parents start shopping again. So again, this is important. This is your appreciation. It's how much value your property has gained year over year. So as you can see, despite the number of transactions down, our average price is still up. Again, something very important. So this is the reason why we do this. We go back to the numbers, we analyze this, and then we try to give ourselves a prediction for the next month or two.
What do you think? Based on July's numbers and months of inventory and how much actual supply we have, will August show us that the final indicator that now is the time to buy, or will it tell us to wait and see another month? And what about the upcoming fall? Will the demand return and buyers start shopping again? Let me know your thoughts, drop your comments below, and thanks for tuning in. Catch you in the next one.